Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Seminary. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. It is always white people or people asking why is it that black people do not like white liberals. And then I also saw a video saying minorities would rather be around rich disease than performative liberals. Majority of white liberals are very performative. It's nothing new. And the man talked about it. He talked about it and he said that he just want to tell black people knew all these things. You just don't have to say like, you just have to tell us. I understand that you are trying to pass a message, but black people knew all this and more. And black people do not with them. They don't dine with them. Because tell me how you are going to tell me that you are with me when in your heart you know that you are not with me. You say you are, those people that will say, I am praying for you when they have never opened their mouth to say anything up for you or about you. The only thing they want is to how people that look like me will be underneath them because they want to be the ones shining and all with that. Forgetting that they do not owe anything or they do not the life is not theirs. Black people know that they are very performative and they try as much as they can to avoid it. Let's get into this video.
So I mentioned how I don't ever want to live around a bunch of white liberals again. And I spent most of my life living in Santa Cruz, California, where there is a lot of white liberals. And I have to tell you, those are some of the most racist people in America. White liberals have tried to silence my voice, have tried to get me fired. White liberals have called me racial slurs multiple times. White liberals think black people are a monolith and are only allowed to act a certain way, vote a certain way. White liberals are working to lower the educational standards for black and brown kids, which is hurting them. White liberals want to have a permanent brown underclass to do all of their hard work, all the jobs they don't want to do. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I never want to live in a majority white liberal area again. And don't even get me started on COVID.
Minorities would rather be around racist than performative liberals. And the reason why is that, ironically, racists can genuinely be more pleasant to be around. First off, I'm not talking about your hate-filled, says the N-word kind of racist. I'm talking about your everyday, run-of-the-mill racist. Racism is a spectrum where you have extremes and averages, and your average racist probably wouldn't join the Klan, but they definitely vote for Trump. So what makes them more pleasant to be around? Well, it's because you know what to expect with a racist. These racists will believe wrong things about your people, make inappropriate jokes about you or your family, and constantly reference the fact that you are black or Latino or gay or whatever. They make it very clear that they put you in a box in their head, and all of their interactions with you are colored by you being in that box. But that's par for the course. You know exactly what to expect. They'll say they want Mexicans out of this country and how they're ruining everything, but then they'll turn around and come help you work on your car or help you cut down a tree in your yard. That's the thing. You can have a beer with a racist, and that might sound crazy to some of you, but in the South it happens all the time. I see it all the time. If you're a Mexican and you're working a factory job, you will be ribbed constantly for being Mexican. But then y'all can all go out to drink later because, yeah, they're racist, but they're good drinking buddies. But performative liberals are snakes. They're insidious and they use things like civil rights and fighting racism to platform themselves as a good person. But they're not willing to help when it actually matters. And on top of that, you can't trust a performative liberal. Think about it. If a white man says, I'm liberal and I believe in equal rights, how do you verify that? How do you know they're not just blowing smoke up your ass and actually will walk the walk of fighting for your civil rights? Well, you don't. You have no way of knowing if they're legit, and minorities in this country have been burned too many times by Democrat lies to believe people just off the cuff. And this is a much bigger problem than you might think, because these people have been betrayed by Democrats so many times, they become friends with the enemy they know rather than the snake that always lies to them. And because of this, a lot of minority communities have normalized the racism they experience every day. I see it all the fucking time. If you're wondering how Latino and Cuban populations in southern states vote so heavily for Trump, it's because they normalized this racism and believed what they were told. Because it takes honesty to be racist to your face. Why would they lie about everything else? They actually thought Republicans would only get illegal criminals, that they would lock down the border and stop the drug crisis, because they really believed the jokes were just jokes, that they weren't one of the targets, because how could they be? We work the same factories, we dig the same trenches. They might be racist, but we aren't enemies. But they were lied to and betrayed. And yeah, the fault obviously lies with the Republicans, but the fault also lies with us. Liberals are all about equal rights until it comes time to pay up. We can't have reparations because we can't afford it, or it's not logistically possible. We can't improve our immigration system because there's just too much red tape. Well, guess what? If the system is broken, then recycle it. But Democrats won't do that because all they care about is protecting the broken status quo. Democrats will politely debate for hours but refuse to ruffle any feathers. So you have to ask yourself if you'd rather be around a racist coworker or a lying coward, because that's what these people were left to choose from, and a lot of people end up picking the racist, and honestly, I have a hard time blaming them. All of this is heavily South-coded, obviously. If you're in New England, West Coast, wherever else in America, the experience will be pretty different. But minorities that I've seen growing up in the South have normalized this behavior. You know, they're friends with racists all the time because that's all they see, and they become very used to it, and they will defend these racists and call them good people or whatever else. And it's... I have a hard time blaming them. You know, that's just sort of what happens. But they're not your friends, right? They're voting to kick you out of this country. And I'm sorry that you haven't realized that yet. But that's the truth. And that's all, folks. Peace.
This video just might save your life if you listen to it and follow these instructions. If you are a minority, the number one thing you should be wary of is the white liberal. Why? It's because the white liberal is the first one who will get up in your face and tell you how oppressive America is and just how racist and unjust it is and how you should feel like you should stand up and overthrow the system, right? You should go out and feel emboldened to riot and loot and act a fool, right? And they want you to go out and do that, right? But where are they most of the time? Are they the ones out there shoulder to shoulder with you acting a fool? No. They're there in their gated communities and their nice, beautiful homes, posting on social media saying, oh, we're with you, while they essentially use you as a meat shield to go out and enact some sort of social change, right, under the auspices of social justice. The white liberal essentially is everything that Malcolm X always said they were. They pose as your friend and benefactor if you're a minority, and they essentially want you to feel like, oh, we're on your side, right? But they're never with you when the chips are down. They're never standing right with you. And guess what would happen? If you were out there acting a fool, and let's say you lost your life at the hands of the police because you were out there acting a fool, breaking laws in the first place, what would the average leftist do? Oh, then the white leftist would say, oh, let's go on a march for this person, and oh, we're going to chant and sing Kumbaya and we shall overcome, right? And then we'll rinse and repeat the exact same cycle while using you as the means to an end, while allowing you to put yourself in harm's way while they do nothing else besides post on social media pretending to care about causes they don't really care about, because guess what? Those problems are made up to begin with. So those are my thoughts. Hopefully you agree, listen to it, and possibly even save your own life.
One of the funniest things about conservatives is how they believe that black people's experiences don't come from black people. They come from liberals. And liberals is just the conservative way of saying bad white people. Any white person that doesn't agree with conservatism is a liberal, no matter what their actual political beliefs. They believe that we are so stupid and that we are so easily manipulated that we could never understand what is happening to us. And the only way that we do is when white liberals tell us to. But please tell us more about how you're not racist.
So this is in regards to me saying that things like the 8-hour workday, workplace protections, OSHA, even civil rights were fought for and won by leftists. This person is saying, how do you know the Democrats wouldn't have just done it themselves? Or how do you know it was a violence that made them vote for these things? because the Democrats were actively working with Republicans to repress those things. They were fighting against the working class to make sure that those things never came about. It was only through the direct threat of their capital and financial interest and status in society that those things changed. I'm not going to give you a 80-year fucking history lesson in a 1-minute TikTok. If you can't go read a book or don't understand history and refuse to educate yourself, that's not on me. But this is a prime example of liberals not only being useless, but counterproductive.
This is all I got from this video. The man that started the video said, maybe you don't know. There is nothing black people do not know. Majority of the things you all are saying are actually what you learn from black people. Black people knew all this and more about white liberals. They know how dangerous they are. Yeah. So it's not anything new that you are saying. It is something black people already knew. And I don't know, but there is something that, some people do, and these people know how to do this perfectly well, so well. That is pretending. I don't know how they try to, and they did that also with black people during this past election, right? And black people said it. I knew too, it was going to happen. Which I told black people, not like I told black people also knew, but I was very consistent with it because I saw it trying to play out because there were so many things happening before election. You know how they will come and tell you that I am with you, I am working with you. Tell me how we can help you. Tell me how we can work with you. Tell me the best way to help you. You know how they lie like that. And you think that you are working with human being. And in the end, they will do what they know how to do best. I remember back then, there are so many white women that are no longer on TikTok today. For those that know, they run away because they lie to black people that they are not megas, right? That they are supporting blue, blah, blah, blah. You know how they do their thing. And in the end, they found out that they are megas. They run out of the internet because they saw the heat after the election. The one that I remember, I can never forget this woman's name is Mama Tot. Mama Tot was just that people that was all over, everywhere. Black people they sensed it so much. They talked about it, they said, but in the end, it was still the same thing. They know how to pretend that they are with you. In the end, they are not with you. See, you don't have to pretend. Black people already know how to catch you people. Black people already know how to get you people. Black people already know how you all behave. So for you to most times come out to say that I am with you when I am not with you, they saw it far ahead, far away. And they've been doing this for a long time and then end up putting people in trouble, end up putting people's life in danger. Because tell me how you are telling me that you are backing me up and in real life, you are not backing me up and then end up causing troubles for me. They do not want people that look like me to have access to anything. That is how horrible it is. If it is horrible, it is horrible. It is how horrible it is. They do not want you to have anything good. They do not want you to have us, how are you working with me and you are also not working with me? How are you leading me on a journey that you know that you are going to leave me halfway? How are you telling me to carry salt, to help you carry salt, and then start sprinkling me water with the salt that I am carrying? That is how bad it is. White liberals, black people know, and they fear them so bad. I would rather I would rather sit with someone that I know that he or she is a narcissist than someone that pretend that they are with me when they are not with me. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.